Greetings everyone and welcome to this special meeting. Usually we are having our meetings on Mondays and Wednesdays, but henceforth we shall be having our meeting on Wednesday, all right? Okay, the admin wanted to take some time today to explain to you in details some of the things that you really need to know, okay? Please make sure that you stay muted and be very, very attentive. Of course, this meeting is also going to be on the blog. If you don't understand something, you want to ask, okay? You want to watch even the meeting over and over again, all right? So that you don't so they don't say I did not understand. That's why we are recording this call. We are going to hand over the mic to the admin as you stay muted and listen very attentively. Greetings to you, admin.
Greetings, everyone. Okay, so today's a special meeting specifically because we weren't able to have our Monday meeting, and our Wednesday meeting was limited on how many people could be on the call. Today we shouldn't have any limitations. Everyone who wants to join should be able to join, and so we're going to record this and go over the things that we went over yesterday and the important stuff we were supposed to go over on Monday. There are a lot of changes happening in the community, specifically in the month of December. We're switching over to the new bounty system. We're switching over to SBFC. Our SBC rewards and our wallet are coming very soon. There's a lot of changes and a lot of activity in the community for the month of December and into January. So I'm going to try and cover all of those details today. And we're going to go back to a blog that we previously had. And I'm going to see, it says I need to be a host in order to share this meeting. So let me take the host back and share my page. Okay. So back to the blog. On Wednesday, I tried to go over a more recent blog that has a couple of updates in it, but I want to go over this one first because this is the more detailed and more important blog. And I'm going to go over our new bounty program that is already in effect. That started on November 27th, and it's going to go through 9 days of receiving payments in our shared bounty program on that rotator. And then on the 6th of December, we're going to be able to collect on the shared bounty. Everyone who's eligible will have a different amount of bounty depending on when you joined. But when the system gets fully populated, I believe in the month of December and our collection date in January, you're going to see the maximum potential come out of our system. So let me explain how our new program works. So this blog was dated on the 27th when the new bounty program started. So the details are simple and I don't want to overcomplicate them. In order to qualify for the shared bounty and up to 1,020 USD per month in passive income, a sponsor, you, the sponsor, must make an 8-grain payment or $32 USD payment for your KCBO. And then 2 of your downlines must also make an 8-grain payment of $32 USDT. That payment needs to happen between November 27th and December 5th at midnight on December 5th on server time. So that's GMT. So if you don't know what time GMT is, there is a timer on the dashboard. We'll show it to you. So I'll refresh the dashboard and we're going to put it on the payment page, but right here it says new bounty collection begins, countdown until December 5th. It's 5 days and 6 hours. So you still have 5 days and 6 hours to qualify for this month's rotator share. And on the 6th, you'll be able to collect. Now, when you start, once we get to the 6th, if you haven't qualified for the share bounty program yet, you still have between the 6th of December to the 5th of January to get qualified. So once you qualified, the sooner you're qualified, the more option, as the rotator comes around to you, it will it'll fill you in with your bounty. So let's go back to the blog. So as of the time of the writing, it was 9 days to qualify for the shared bounty program. In your KCBO, you'll be able to withdraw up to $1,020 in USDT in any given month. That's the maximum that the system will populate out to. That's a system design. And payments of 8 grain or $32 between December 6th and January 5th will start accumulating towards the January 6th payout. So we have a short run. We only have 9 days for the December payout, but we'll have a full 30 days for the January payout. So it's best to try and get into the shared bounty program in December before the 5th. But if you don't qualify by the 5th, you'll still be able to qualify continually. As you qualify, you get put into the rotator program. Members that qualify will be added to the bounty pool allocation as soon as you qualify. So keep your KCBO current, because if you're not active, you can't collect. Not only can you not collect, you'll lose your allocated funds. If your account isn't continually paid, your allocated funds will fall back into the pool. So it's important to keep your KCBO active all the time. That means to pay it early. That means don't wait until the day it's going to expire and make the payment, and then run the risk of something going wrong with MetaMask or whatever. The more that you're paid ahead, the more you're guaranteed to be in the system. So a good rule of thumb for that is to make sure that when you log into your account and you check on your collection time, the best option, our designers suggested that if you make a plan to make the payment between the 1st and the 5th of every month, and that is when you're going to make it, doesn't matter when your expiration date is, but if you make your payment between the 1st and the 5th of every month, you'll always be assured that you're not going to expire before the collection time. So some members have asked about the slots, how it works, how does this work? And that's not as important as making sure that you get one. The sooner that you're in the slot, the sooner that you qualify, the sooner you start accumulating the shared bounty. So I'm going to go down to these numbers here. So I'm going to give you an example. I wanted to put together a graphic that shows how this would fill in, but I've got to work on that. But we'll put it together as soon as we can, and I'll share that in the blog. But so let's just say, for instance, there's 10 members qualified. So there's 10 slots that are taken. Slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When a KCBO payment comes in, slot 1 gets $2, slot 2 gets $2, and slot 3 gets $2. When another KCBO payment comes in, 4, 5, and 6 get $2, and then 7, 8, and 9, and then onward. As more members qualify, the slots become greater. The rotator gets around you a little slower. So that's where it's important to be in the rotator as early as you can, because you'll get the maximum benefit faster in that process. When the entire shared bounty program is filled out and we have 5,000 or 10,000 members that are paying on a regular basis, there won't be any real concern for what slot you're in and whether or not you got in early or not, because you're always going to have that rotator position. And that rotator position, you're never going to lose it. Doesn't matter whether you fall off or expire or whatever. Your slot in that rotator is always going to stay there. The only catch is that you can't collect and you can't receive, and you'll lose if your account goes inactive, but your spot will still be there. So here we're saying as the qualified members increase, the time between allocations increases, but you'll be eligible up to 1,020 USDT as a maximum benefit. And that's just the max when the system maxes out. That's where every member should be at when we are fully maxed out. Every member will have, every qualified member will be receiving 1,020 USDT. Now, what does it look like when it's maxed out? That really kind of depends on that depends on expiration date. That depends on payments coming in, not necessarily how many members are actually paid. So some of our members have paid ahead. Some members have paid when they took advantage of the $22, they paid ahead. But the only payments that are going to qualify for shared bounty are going to be the 32 grain payments. So any new payments that are coming in of 32 USDT are going to add to the shared bounty pool. So you'll never lose your slot if you become inactive, but if you do become inactive, your funds are going to go back into the pool. Until you're active again, you will not earn any funds. So stay active. Make sure that you are keeping track of your two downlines, because it's not just you that has to be active. It's two of your downlines. So if you have two downlines that said they can't make it this month, what you want to do is you want to find two of your other downlines that can, and that will keep you qualified. So as long as you have two active downlines in any month cycle, you'll still be qualified. So if you look at the top of the dashboard, and go back up to here, up at the top on the little ticker across the top where it says dashboard, welcome to sbccoins.io. Our SBC active member count is 4344. That's going to be important later in this meeting, that 4344. Your current expiration date is August of 2027. This is my admin account. I am not qualified for the shared bounty program, but right after that expiration date, it will give you a little SBC logo, and it will tell you in orange print that you are shared bounty qualified. So as soon as you qualify, that little ticker will show you right there on your dashboard, and you want to continue to make sure that you're always qualified. So back into our blog. Okay, so this is an opportunity for every member to benefit from. So members who have no downline need to be encouraged to at least go out and get there too. You as a sponsor, it is your responsibility to show your downlines how to get their own downlines. It is important for them to be able to participate in this bounty program, because the sooner that they're into the bounty program, the sooner that they're receiving a passive income as well. And this will be an encouragement for them and an encouragement for their teams to be able to build out and recruit for our system. Now, when I say recruiting and when I say, go out and get downlines, there's a reason why we need more and more and more members. There's a reason why we're requiring you to go out and recruit two members underneath you to find two referrals. And that is so that we can expand the value of our currency. We can expand the outreach of our currency. And by having a large member base, we have what Admin Jack used to call mass adoption. So that mass adoption is very important. The more people that learned about Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was young, there was only 3 kids playing around with Bitcoin in their garage. Bitcoin was worthless. But Bitcoin became worth so much because so many people got involved using it. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to create that lightning in a bottle one more time, just like Bitcoin did. Bitcoin had a different strategy towards it. We're having a strategy where we're actually giving something back to the communities. When we create our bounty program, we're giving something back to the community. When we create our goodwill program, we're giving something back to the community. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. So we've got a little bit more of a mission than Bitcoin did. And that's why it's been a little hard for us to accomplish what we're accomplishing now. But that's what we're working towards. So I hope that everyone can understand that recruiting is an important factor of being a part of this community. And if you can't recruit, then we do have we have members that are able to help you. We have tutorials that are going to be available. Dr. Carl will be giving us some education specifically on how to communicate with potential downlines. So those things are coming, and let's just make sure that we, understand that there is a little bit of work required for this program to work. So for a small investment of $100 between your $32 for being a sponsor, and $32 for each of your downline. That's just right under $100 in US funds. That $100 will qualify you for $1,020 on a monthly basis. We'll keep coming in for you. So that's how this bounty program was originally designed, to benefit as many members as are able to qualify. Now, there was I mentioned this on Wednesday. There was a statement previously that I had made before we had this entire bounty program completely designed out. And that was for all members, regardless of whether they're a sponsor or not, to be able to share in this bounty program. Now, that is something that we are going to look at. It's something that obviously the working members of the community are going to receive more of the benefits, particularly with this phase of the shared bounty program. But we are looking at possibilities and options perhaps for the month of January, where we will be able to allow for some sort of bounty sharing for members who do not have a sponsor or do not have a downline, that have not become a sponsor yet. And we will still make a requirement of those members. So it might be something that will give them a little taste of the bounty program while they're working on qualifying. So more like a training wheels program of some sort. So a training wheels rotator. That's probably a cool name to call it. We call it the training wheels rotator. So that is a program that I'm going to look into. It is not a part of this bounty program. So I know that I said that it would be. That was a mistake on my part, because I did not fully understand the entire concept as it was being presented to me. I had questions, and I went back and forth with the designer and the developer. And the program that we came up with is the only program that is functionally feasible right now. So I will make a blog about that. And over the month of December, I will kind of work that in and try and figure out how we can make that occur. So now I want to move on to the Agents Exchange and what we're doing with the Agents Exchange. So this is an excruciating process for the validation of the agents. Our Privy Council has spent a lot of time going through the agents list. There are 600 agents or so, and only 200, 250 of them are currently active. There are a lot of agents that have funds that have received their SBFC funds if they had it allocated to them by donations, but those agents are not active. So those agents aren't going to be able to exchange those SBFC funds through our private exchange. So any agent out there that is listening to this call, if you're not currently active, in order for you to be able to receive funds from your SBFC, in order to be able to exchange the SBFC funds for BUSD or USDT on our exchange, you're going to have to become active. That was always the plan. That was always the process. So any agents that are not active, let's get back in being active. But the Privy Council has been painstakingly validating these agents and making sure that they're capable of doing goodwill operations. A 5-year-old can't do goodwill. A 5-year-old might be receiving agent donations, but a 5-year-old isn't capable of going out and doing goodwill. So we need to make sure that the agents that are receiving the donations, the agents that are able to use the donations for their exchange, are actually viable agents. In order to do this, we have an interview process, and so far the Privy Council has brought to me about 60 validated members of the 600 that are out there. I mean, that's only 10%. And I'm not upset that the Privy Council isn't able to validate more quickly, but a lot of our members want to get the agent process up and running. So the way that I'm going to be able to do that is I'm going to accept the currently validated members into the exchange, and I'm going to accept agents that are currently receiving donations into the exchange. So if you are an agent and you want to be able to exchange SBFC and haven't been validated yet by the Privy Council, you can do one of two things. You can either go and get validated by the Privy Council, or you can get donations going for your account. So any of the agents that are receiving donations in this week will have access to the exchange. So I'm planning to open up the exchange on Monday. So any agents that received donations between Monday of last week and Monday of whatever the Monday is, it is the sorry guys, December 4th. So any agents that have received donations between the 27th and the 4th are going to be able to utilize the exchange. I want to make sure that everyone understands that the exchange is going to be limited and it is going to be in operation during certain periods of time. I will announce on a blog and I will announce in the Telegram group when the agents exchange window is open, and that will allow the agents that are qualified to go in and make their $10 exchange. Now, we understand that $10 is not enough to complete an agent task. We understand that maybe even $20 or $30 isn't really enough. So we encourage you to save those exchanges and save the funds that you have earned in your agent pool and allow yourself to build those up until you have enough funds to be able to perform a successful goodwill operation. Now, what that successful goodwill operation is, that's entirely up to you. We understand that you may need funds for a bus ticket, you may need funds for gas, you may need to pay your neighbor to give you a ride to the grocery store. We understand that you will need to use some of these funds for your own personal needs to get to where you need to go. So keep that in mind. We are very understanding about how you're going to use your agent funds. And the best opportunity here is to just pool them up until you have enough funds that you can do something worthwhile and meaningful in your community. Now, if you're an agent that wants to receive the $10 and then go out and give it to take that $10 and go right out and give it to someone in need, you can do that as well. It's entirely up to you how you do it. The only thing that we're asking for is that if you do a large event, send some photos in. You can share them in the Telegram group. You can share them on your agent blog. Everyone has access to the agent blog right now. I don't know if that has been made completely clear, but the agent blog is this agent forum is available for all members. So any member that is not an actual agent can go in here and register. Any agents should already be registered, and you're registered with your login is your email and your current KCBO password. So that is where the agents are, and that's how we're gonna work with the agents for right now. Is any agents that's receiving donations over the past week is going to have the opportunity to get into the exchange starting on Monday and exchange their SBFC at that time. So if you are looking to do an exchange, encourage your donators to donate specifically to you and other members of your other members of your community and agents in that area. Moving on, we do have a new document regarding agents and the HODL program as far as agents are concerned. That's going to be posted later. It's going to be specific to SBFC and not Joy G, and I'll explain that a little further when we get to the next section. So very quickly, the SBC rewards for December with a paid KCBO, you're already receiving 200 SBC coins as a reward. For the month of December, we're going to be giving an additional 1,000 out to every one of the paid members. And so many of our members that have joined recently, they don't know what TBC is. They don't know what the triple match is. They have no idea what any of that is. And they weren't able to participate in, those things in our community. So we want to make sure that we give them something because the SBC wallet is coming very soon. It's going to be coming in the month of January. And we're going to be working through the entire year of 2024 to get the SBC coin actually out there and functional in the world, just like we had originally planned for TBC. Now that depends on our community growth. We are showing a good amount of growth, specifically here in the last weeks of the bounty program starting. So we're showing quite a bit of growth. We're already at 47. What was the number? 43, 44. Now this number updates every day. It doesn't update as a new member joins, but we were at 4,200 yesterday. So we've received 40, or we received 100, rejoining or new members just in the last day, and that is great. That's the growth that our investors are looking for. That's the growth that we need in our community to make SBC, the actual SBC coin itself, a reality. And the members, as you pay through your KCBO, you're going to be receiving SBC. And I've already said that one SBC coin is worth to 1 grain of gold. So that's roughly $4.12, $4.21, somewhere around there. But the SBC has a value. That SBC is going to be in the grains of gold. So if you take a look at the blog that I posted recently regarding addressing the community about stuck funds and whatnot, that SBC value is stated there, and I'll put that again into a blog when we get closer to distributing the SBC. So any of our members who have been eligible for SBC or the TBC to Caleb to Joy G match, that's going to happen. The very final match is going to happen on December 12th. So that is roughly 13 days away. And on that day, all the SBC balances are going to be updated. I'm also going to work on processing the stuck funds and converting to SBC, and all of the issues that we've been seeing there with the stuck funds. We're going to put that all into SBC and put that into your SBC wallet, where in 2024 we're going to work on making SBC the reality that we're all hoping it will be. So that's that one particular blog. I wanted to go in and update a couple of the things that we have been working on. So announced yesterday in our founders meeting, it was suggested that due to the price of Joy G, that we increase the amount of Joy G required to become an agent. And it's become very painfully obvious that Joy G has been tainted by members, that as soon as the price of Joy G goes up, someone comes in and sells their Joy G, and then we get a low price. Joy G is sitting at $4.60 right now. Joy G is not viable for us. We can't use that. So Joy G is not going away. We're not going to remove our support for Joy G. We're not going to focus on Joy G. We're going to focus all our efforts back into SBFC, where we can control the price. We don't have to worry about the price fluctuating up or down. The only thing that we need to worry about, well, quite honestly, is that as you can see, our membership count is 4,344. We're 667 members away from the price of Joy G becoming, or excuse me, we're 667 members away from the price of SBFC from going from $25 to $30. So that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're trying to accumulate SBFC. So you can buy it right now at $25 per coin, but it's going to be worth $30 per coin as soon as we hit the 5,000 membership. And when we hit the 7,500 membership, the price is going to jump again to $35. when we hit the 10,000 membership, it jumps up again to $40. And depending on our growth curve, that SBFC price will also curve in an upward direction. So right now, I'm only looking at speculation of where I believe that the growth curve is. But if our growth curve, if we hit 7,500 by the end of December, then maybe the coin should be worth more than $35. So we'll look at the growth curve and we'll adjust the price as the membership increases. So anyway, it was suggested in our founders meeting that we up the stake of Joy G, but we've decided we're going to change it to a stake of SBFC. So we're requiring 2.0 SBFC going forward. That's already in place. That just took place yesterday at midnight server time. So you can use our crypto exchange to purchase SBFC for the buy-in for the agent program. Just remember, becoming an agent is it's an honor and it's a responsibility. So as an agent, you are receiving donations from other members that are able to do so, and your responsibility is to take those funds and perform a goodwill operation out in your community or however you see fit. So with Joy G at an all-time low, we have to detach it from our SBC community. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the Joy G coin. That went with the previous admin, but I do have access to the SBFC coin. And the SBFC coin, we have a lot more control over it. We have a lot more ability to utilize it the way that it was originally intended to be utilized. So I'm further announcing that the matches that we were talking about with SBFC and the rollover for Joy G is going to be at our SBFC price. So in my previous blog where I talked about stuck funds, my intention was to take the price of Joy G on the 12th of December and say, this is the price that I'm going to match the SBC with. But since the price of Joy G has collapsed even further since that blog was released, I am going to match the price of Joy G on the buybacks and the price of Joy G on the buybacks is going to be the 21.24. I'm going to match the price of the Joy G on the triple matches and the original match from TBC to K-Love that became Joy G. I'm going to match that at the price of $25. I don't see the price of Joy G raising to $25 between now and the 12th. If it does, we'll take a look at it, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. So we're going to stick with the current price of SBFC. Now, if by the 12th of December, we get to a price of $30 or $35 for SBFC, then that will be the match price as well. So if we can get to 5,000 members by the 12th, then the price of Joy G goes up, and the price of SBFC goes up, and the match to Joy G goes up. So technically, yes, the price of our match of Joy G goes up. So as I said in the beginning, I know there are a lot of changes that are happening in the community. There's a lot of information that we're going over in this particular meeting. A lot of things that are happening very quickly, and I want to make sure that we have documentation, and that if you're not able to attend the founders meeting here, definitely allow as many people as you can to share the video with them as well. All right. I think I want to go back. Are you still with me, MB?
Yes, MB.
Okay. I haven't been able to let anybody in on this because I've been focusing on the blog. So I'm going to let our members in. Go back to this. Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to go back to is our dashboard. Just as a recap for the members that are just joining, I apologize that I'm hosting the meeting, so I haven't been able to let all the members in. But we are recording this, so you'll be able to go back and catch this in the blog here shortly. So across the top, our ticker says if you're shared bounty qualified, that's going to be after your expiration date. So at the end of this little ticker on the top, there will be a SBC logo, and it'll say that you're share bounty qualified. That will be there if you have qualified. And keep in mind that there is this timer on the dashboard. I'm going to put that on the payment page as well. So this tells you when the allocation process ends and the collection process begins. And make sure that you take a look at some of the important blogs that are posted here. These are all the important ones where a lot of the changes in our community are happening. Again, as I said, there's a lot of things that are happening in the community very quickly. The shared bounty program is one of them. The new agents requirements for being able to do the exchange, and our JoyG and SBFC connections. I will review those again real quick. For those that are just joining us, we went over the new agent buy-in that basically we're not going to accept JoyG as an agent buy-in anymore. We're going to accept SBFC and require 2.0. Please read the blog on that. And if you need to acquire SBFC, you can do so at our exchange. Agents that are receiving donations between Monday of this past Monday and the Monday of next week, those agents are going to be eligible to use the exchange. The exchange is going to be open for a short period of time, and it's going to be limited to $10 per day. I will make announcements in the blog when the exchange will be open for members to get in and use it. I'll make an announcement also in the Telegram group, and I'll try and keep it rotating on different times, so it won't be the same time every day, so that members globally will be able to utilize it. The next thing I want to go over a couple of things that have been coming up lately. We have a lot of new members that are coming into the community and are having problems with their getting their accounts paid for. They're having trouble figuring out how to do these things. So support has had to issue these links to the members a couple of times. So in our payment page, we have the pay with BUSD or USDT. I want to announce that by December 15th, we are no longer going to accept BUSD. BUSD is going to be discontinued by Binance in February, and it's becoming more expensive for us to utilize it. So we're going to be switching over entirely to USDT on December 15th. There will be a blog and a poster regarding that. There's two things that are required when making a KCBO payment, specifically for new members. The first is to verify your KCBO payment wallet. And we require that you verify your payment wallet simply because we've had unscrupulous members out there trying to steal hashes, and they don't care about the accounts that they're stealing the hashes for. They're just caring about the bounty. So we've made it so that your payment has to come from your payment wallet. We validate your wallet with another currency called Wild Horses. It's a small currency that gets sent to you in enough that you can send us back a small amount back. We're going to tell you how much to send back. So we'll send you an amount, and then we'll tell you how much of that amount to send back to us. Once we receive that, it validates, and your wallet is locked into the payment system, so no one can steal your hashes from you. So this video is a perfect tutorial on how to verify your payment wallet. Definitely watch that video for new members, and keep in mind the biggest thing that most of our members have problems with is it requires that you complete the process within 30 minutes. It has to be done quickly. The sending of cryptocurrency from our system to your system happens very quickly. So by the time that you request that the currency sent to you is sent, it's pretty much there. You just have to go in and get the amount and then send it back. You can complete this process in under 30 seconds, but we give you 30 minutes, and make sure that you do it in that process. If you're being distracted while you're trying to go through validating your payment wallet, you're not going to be able to complete the process, and you're going to have to do a new request. So that process takes 30 minutes. Make sure that you go through that process as quickly as possible. The next one is the KCBO payment tutorial. This goes through and it details all of the coins that we use, what a request is, confirm payment, wallet address, goes through and it walks through the process on how to make your KCBO payment and how to complete the payment with your hash. Again, all of these things happen very quickly. You're not required to use MetaMask or Trust Wallet. You can use either one. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you make the payment in the amount that's requested. Don't make the payment for more. Don't make the payment for less. If it asks you to send 32.083 or something like that, that's what you should send. Don't send 35 and don't send 30 because the system won't accept the payment. So make sure you send the amount that's being requested when you're being told to send it. And make sure you're sending that from the validated wallet that you put in there. And then you've got your pending payments here. If you have trouble with your wallet, every time that you make a request, it's going to set up a pending payment. So you can go through the pending payment system. It'll tell you who that email is for, the email address, who that payment's for, when the payment date expires. And then you can select this one and it will prompt you to put in the hash for that one. If you have 2 or 3 or 4 of these payment requests out there, you can select whichever one is the one that you want to make the payment for. And you can also delete those requests and get them out of the system. Anytime that you make a mistake in the system, just delete the request and go through the process again. The payment itself is independent from the hash. So when you come in and you apply your hash, as long as the amount came from your registered or validated wallet, as long as the amount is correct, then your hash will be accepted. So here's some MetaMask instructions. It shows how to use MetaMask for that. But again, you can use Trust Wallet. And when you're finally done, this is what we're hoping for. You're going to see payment is successful. So we've issued this 15-page document to a lot of the new members, and they've replied back, thank you, that's exactly what they needed. So this is very comprehensive, and let's just make sure that we utilize that for our members. I'm going to let some more members in. All right. So I've gone over the payments and how to verify. I've gone over our agents, gone over the shared bounty. We went over the blog. We talked about JoyG and the match on SBFC. And the last thing that I want to do before we open up the floor to Q&A is I want to make sure that everyone understands that the payment process for getting into the shared bounty program is a 9-day window this cycle, but it's a 30-day window in the next month. So we started the program a little early. The first week or the first run of the program is we're accumulating 9 days. I can tell you how many members are qualified here in just a moment. Yesterday, there was 240 members that were qualified. Today, of course, my system crashes. Give me a moment to get my system back up, and then I can tell you how many have qualified for today. But when you're making your qualification for the shared bounty program, you and 2 of your downlines need to make the 8-grain 32 USD payment, and then you'll be qualified. So between now and the end of the day of the 5th of December, we're accumulating those shared bounty payments. And on December 6th, those that are qualified are going to be able to withdraw the shared bounty that has been assigned to them. And we're working on getting it so that you can see that shared bounty. You see how much is accumulated. And on the 6th, the button will be available where you can withdraw. It's going to go right to your registered bounty address. You don't have to do anything except just push the button, and the USDT will be sent to your wallet. And then from the 6th until the 5th of January, we're going to start the accumulation process again. So the shared bounty will be a little on the small side for the month of December, but the collection in January, as our membership grows and as the bounty program fills out, we are going to see that potential of 1,020 USD for the maximum shared bounty coming out of the system. So we have 300 qualified members in the shared bounty program. Yesterday we had 240. So that's amazing. Congratulations to all of those members that have qualified, and let's keep going, because the timer ends here very soon. We've only got 5 days and 6 hours until this qualification process rolls over into the next month, and members can start collecting. So with that, Mbe, I will turn it back over to you.
Okay.
Let me let some more people in, and then I will try and find you. There you are. There you go.
Okay. Great meeting, and thank you very much, admin, for that insight and to detail the blog. And hopefully people will be able to watch this over and over. Will you want to take questions, or maybe just a contribution? I don't know. Which one do you want to take?
I'd like to take questions if there's anyone that has questions regarding what we've gone over here. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's not really a lot of questions here, but let's go ahead and see what Gina has a question, and we have another question coming in. So let's go ahead and do a couple of questions for a few minutes.
Okay, Gina.
Good day, admin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. The bounty program. So 2 questions. How many people would we have to have in order to get that maximum amount that you're talking about?
Well,
that work?
Yeah, in the presentation that I gave earlier here, how many people doesn't really, there's not really an equation of how many members need to be in there in order for us to get the maximum bounty. The reason for that is because a lot of members, such as yourself, have paid ahead. So you're going to be qualified to still receive the bounty because you've paid ahead, but it's the incoming payments. It has to do with the incoming payments. It doesn't have to do with how many people are actually paid. So the incoming payments are what contributes to the shared bounty, not the membership tally. Obviously, the membership tally going up, every member that is making that membership go up is definitely contributing to the shared bounty. So that it starts at that point. But all the members that were previously paid and have expiration dates into the future, those members, it's hard to tell who those members are and how it equates out. I could probably talk with my engineers and see what that number is, but I don't think that number is as important as the payments coming in. The membership doesn't equate to what you're going to receive in the shared bounty.
Right. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. And just curious, how many slots are already filled?
300.
300. Okay. My next one is on the agent program.
It's an unlimited number of slots. I mean, you're not going to miss out if you're number 3 million or if you're number 300. You're not going to miss out on the slots are unlimited. So
okay, my next one is agent program. How does an agent know when they're receiving donations?
On your donation profile, there is a
Uh-huh.
little red number that shows if you've received any donations so far. We're working on
Okay.
a agent donation page that will allow you to see the donations that you've been paid for. So all of the agents that received funds as of I think November 12th, all of the funds that they've received that they hadn't already cashed out, because some of our agents were able to receive Joy G back in July. And the reason why we stopped agents receiving Joy G was because the system was getting overwhelmed. All those $1 payments were causing the system to crash. So we
No.
started pooling the agents' funds together. And then obviously the agent program was having some issues. Admin Jack didn't want to pay out the agents and just let it kind of build up. But on the 12th, we paid out all the agents in SBFC that was left over from what they hadn't already withdrawn. And I have an accounting for that. I've got a page that I'm working on that we'll put up there that will show you your donations to date. And that's when you look at your agent profile in the agent's pull down there, or the agent's donation page. When you look at your profile there, that shows the donations to date. That doesn't show how much you've received in SBFC. That doesn't show how much you've received in previously in Joy G. But that shows your to-date donation. That's the only number that is important to the public. On your back office, in your back office area, you'll see an accounting of this is what you have received to date. This is what you've these are the donations you received to date. These are the donations that you've withdrawn, and these are the donations that have come in since the last time you withdrew. So we're working on that page. That'll come soon. But yeah, that's shown on your agent profile.
Okay,
the amount
and
that you
then
received to date.
you like since I've made like advance payments to qualify for the bounties, do I need to still go in and make another payment for me and my and two of my downline, correct?
The only thing that you need to make sure that you do is your downline needs to have an 8-grain payment on a monthly basis. So whoever qualified, whatever, your downlines, you need to have 2 of them that are still paid in order to stay in the bounty program.
Right, and they're all paid for a whole year. So do I still need to go in and make, because you're saying we had to make a
in order to qualify
1 8
for the bounty program, yeah, you have to qualify. The only way that you're going to qualify is if an 8-grain payment comes in. So even though you're paid out for the year, that's just where your expiration date is. But in order for you to get into the bounty program, you need to have two paid underneath with the 8-grain payments.
Plus my own with an 8-grain, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that I understood that correctly. All right, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you, coming here and having this extra meeting and clarifying a lot of this stuff for all of us. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and God bless.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let's take the last question and wrap up our recording.
Okay, so go with Basil.
Good evening, admin. Good evening, Chief Justice.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, I have just 2 concerns, but one, the lady was just talked about it, but I didn't click it well because I have members who are paid like for 1 year, and mine is also expiring like Feb by Feb. So does it mean that in December we also have to pay again?
Yeah, I'll have to put out a blog to be more specifically to make sure that everyone understands what that is. So in order to qualify right now, you require an 8-grain payment that is made before the 5th of December in order to qualify for the bounty program. So that 8-grain payments required for you and 2 of your downlines in order to qualify for this cycle. Now, if you qualify after December 6th, you'll be qualified to the January 6th withdrawal. So I'll write the blog up with a little bit more detail on how that works.
Okay,
especially
then the
with
second.
considering the advance payments.
Okay. Then the second concern is, you know, we are building wealth, and this is something concerning money. And you know, we are not here permanently. So we normally talk about how to generate wealth, but we are not talking about if I'm not there, what happens to my wealth that I've generated? What procedure will my family members take in order to make sure that my account is taken up by them? I would also like to hear that from you.
Okay, so for about 2 years now, maybe 2 years, if you go into your profile page, you have the ability to nominate a heir or a beneficiary. So in your profile page, you're going to want to log in, and in that profile page, you can fill in the beneficiary and provide us a little information of who would be eligible to take over your account for you in the unfortunate event of your leaving us. So that is all that is needed is for any of the surviving family members to go into their KCBO, create a ticket, and pass along the information of whatever has happened, and then the beneficiary will be able to adopt the account at that time. So that's actually been in the KCBO in the back office there for quite a while. I don't know if let me take back the control so I can show where that is real quick. Okay. So here in our account, go to your account and go to profile. Down at the bottom, there is a beneficiary email. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the email address of the person who would be taking over your account, and then you can put in a passcode. That passcode can be a password, it can be a number, anything that you feel they should know. So I would let your beneficiary know that you have a KCBO account, they're the beneficiary, and this is what the passcode is if anything were to happen. All right.
Okay. Then my last concern is, you know, we are having so many children in this community, and the parents are really struggling for them to ensure that they have a bright future. But at the same time, these children, they also have suffering children in their community, which I know, you know, like you people in Europe, in America, you are a bit different from us Africa, because when your child is about 15 years, is already responsible for what, he's already having something for himself. But for us here, it is like even when you are 30, you are still under your parents. So I believe that this community would also be in a position to help our children have access to finance even when they are still a bit young, such that they can learn how to help others. So I request that, if possible, develop a mechanism of having special kind of program for children, since they are paying their account without missing, because I think they are also in need of this kind of services. It is my concern, admin.
Yeah, we don't have any restrictions on who can be in the KCBO or in the SBC community. We don't have any restrictions based on that. The only restrictions that we're looking at is we don't want children being responsible for goodwill events. I mean, that's something that, you know, most children just aren't capable of. So you know, a 5-year-old can have an SBC account, but they shouldn't be an agent. So that is that's how our current system is working. Now, I understand that we might be able to. We did originally have a program that was checking for if an account was a minor, and I'm trying to remember what relevancy that had to our system at the time. But if you join the Telegram group and reach out to me on Telegram and want to make further suggestions on how we can create a program for our minors and our children in our community, that would be something that I would be interested in exploring with you. So if you have any thoughts or ideas on how to do that, reach out to me on Telegram, and we'll play around with it, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Thank you so much, admin.
Okay, I think there's that, admin. Okay.
Sorry, it wouldn't allow me to unmute myself. I had to mute myself to give a cough. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending. I know we didn't have as many participants this time as we tried to have on the last one, but thank you all for participating, and check the recording in the blog here soon, so that anything that you might have missed in the beginning, you'll have access to watch over and over again. The word of the day is the phrase of the day, or the takeaway from the meeting is get shared bounty qualified by December 5th. That's the real important part for as many of our members as we can, so that we can see the benefit of the shared bounty program. It's already amazing so far with 300 members, but I'd like to see as many of our members into that shared bounty program by December 5th. All right. So you can go ahead and end the recording.
Okay.